Movies You Want to Watch recently hit the Sundance Film Festival to bring you the premiere of Boyhood, directed by Richard Linklater, starring Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette. It took director James Cameron approximately 15 years to complete his beloved masterpiece, Avatar.
I waited 10 years to start it, and it's been 4.5 years to make, which is twice the length of time it took to make Titanic.
The film Eyes Wide Shut took Stanley Kubrick decades to create and made the Guinness Book of World Records for 15 months on the longest continuous film shoot ever. Yet, Kubrick died before fully completing the film on his own.
It's just a new way of telling a story, I think.
Boyhood is the first fictitious film that literally took 12 years to create on purpose.
It's actually pretty optimistic, I think, if you think just the thought that you would be around 12 years from now, be viable, you're taking a leap of faith in the future, I guess.
Linklater, Hawke, and Arquette took a leap of faith when signing on to create Boyhood. Linklater intended on creating a film over a 12-year time span in an effort to naturally capture the actors aging, physically and emotionally, with no special effects.
It's called Boyhood because it's kind of the point of view of a young boy. It's really 12 years, 1st through 12th grade.
Boyhood was shot every summer over 12 years and follows Mason, played by Eller Coltrane, as he literally grows up on screen. The beginning of the film captures Hawke and Arquette in the middle of a divorce. Mason is just 6 years old.
You see him grow up, but you also see his sibling and his parents grow up in age.
Stop! Put the barrier!
I don't wanna be your... Linklater, best known for directing Dazed and Confused and School of Rock, drew on his personal experience as a father to create the film.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily autobiographical, but it's very personal. Little things, and it's contemporary, so it's not like a period film from my own childhood, but a lot of the dynamics are close.
Linklater's own daughter, Lorelei, plays Mason's sister in Boyhood. Although there was a moment Linklater almost lost her.
I remember about year 3, Lorelei came to me and asked me, can my character, die?
Do you have a fascination with evolution of people and families and relationships?
Maybe so. It just sort of worked out that way.
Hawke is an Oscar-nominated actor who initially established himself with roles in coming-of-age films, Dead Poets Society, and Reality Bites.
All you have to be by the age of 23 is yourself.
In Boyhood, Hawke plays Mason Sr. and told us he had no problem committing to a 12-year project with longtime collaborator and friend Linklater. Was there a moment that you said, why am I involved in this all these years?
Oh, never. When Richard Linklater called me up and said, hey, I want to make a movie I need a 12-year commitment from you. It's a big deal. But I had already made several films with him, and he's already, a filmmaker that I just think is an American original. There's nobody else like him. And so, for me, it's easy. I never questioned it for a second.
Linklater first directed Hawke in the 1995 cult hit Before Sunrise, co-starring with Julie Delpy. The trio went on to create the Academy Award-nominated sequels Before Sunset and Before Midnight.
I assure you, that guy you vaguely remember, the sweet romantic one that you met on a train, that is me.
That film that came out last spring, they're still talking about it, and we're still wonderfully, involved in that, but that we're showing this film now, so I like the overlap. It feels healthy.
Linklater admitted Boyhood inspired those award-winning iconic sequels.
We actually started this film before we did the Before Sunset. Coming aboard for this 12-year commitment sort of empowered me and Ethan, too, to maybe revisit Celine and Jesse. We did those 2 films within this film.
Hawke admitted over the 12-year span of working on Boyhood, his life has changed drastically. Ethan split from wife Uma Thurman in 2005, with whom he has 2 children, before marrying his former nanny in 2008 and adding another 2 kids to his clan. When it comes to family, is it more important than everything else in the world to you, and why?
People like to say that family is more important, but family is all of us. Family is our community. I always think when people stress family like that, it somehow isolates people who feel like they don't have a family. I always felt that way as a child of divorce. Whenever I felt, oh, Christmas is a time for family, I always felt like really depressed, like somehow Christmas wasn't for me.
Yet, Hawke says he has bigger ideas when it comes to family. His ideal concept is ultimately a globally connected community.
I think family is, we all make it. We're all in it.
Are we family? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm family with Ethan. I love Ethan. Hawke's 12-year co-star and wife Olivia in the film is played by Patricia Arquette.
The first year, Rick had me take care of the kids. I spent a weekend with them and made them breakfast, and we did art projects, and I tucked them in bed, and we just hung out, just the three of us.
Looking back over the 12 years it took to shoot Boyhood, Arquette also experienced some major life changes. She divorced Nicolas Cage, married Thomas Jane in 2001. Eventually, they divorced 10 years later in 2011.
People got married, people got divorced, babies came, babies went, people lost houses, people bought houses. I mean, everything happened. People got cancer, people got over cancer, people's parents died. I mean, it was just life. You know, I just felt grateful to be a part of it. I mean, when Richard called me and said that he put together this movie and that would I be interested in doing it, I just felt like, what an incredible opportunity.
Yet, Patricia says this film might never have happened if it wasn't for IFC's belief in it.
First of all, to get funding from IFC for 13 years when they knew they wouldn't even recoup their money for that long of a period was just so brave. And it's not a bombastic movie, and I just think it's a very unique opportunity, a beautiful movie, and really what you want to do as an artist when you start working.
Arquette said she loved shooting Boyhood so much she didn't want it to end. Was there ever a moment you didn't want to work on this film?
No, there was never. As a matter of fact, I was really bummed out this film was finished shooting, and I didn't want it to come out. I just felt like I want to keep making this movie, and I don't want to share this with the world. This is kind of our life.
For Arquette, who has a daughter Harlow with ex Thomas Jane and son Enzo with musician Paul Rossi, the film's overall message rings true. No family is perfect.
I think all families are dysfunctional. I don't believe that there is any such thing as a perfect family, but this family has a lot of love in it. I think it all goes fast, and you'll see in this movie, it's sort of like looking back at your kid growing up. Everything happens so quickly, and before you know it, they're grown.
Boyhood is a movie you want to watch and hits theaters July 11th.
What do you want to be, Mason? What do you want to do?